You're tuned in to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Car questions? Get answers right now. Call 850-763-0555.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.
Hey, welcome back to Ask the Master Auto Technician. Burnie Thompson is supposed to be calling right now. I'm waiting for him to call, but he hasn't called yet. He said he was going to call. I'm hoping that he will be able to explain to you what happened to him. Last Friday was his last day. I was at Friday Fest, and all of a sudden, my phone started blowing up. Do you know that Burnie's not with the radio station anymore? I'm going, I don't know anything. And then found out the following day he's not there, and I'm hoping he will call. And because it's his time to call. So Burnie, if you're listening out there, please call. We want to know what happened. People want to know, what your plans are. Are you going to be on radio someplace else? I hear something about possibly you're going to be having internet radio. Maybe people can find out about you. That's what we have this show for. I pay for this show. I'm not an employee of Magic Radio. I pay for this show. They don't mind taking my money since 1998. I don't mind giving it to them either, so long as they allow me to have freedom of speech, so long as I pay for it. It does come with a price. Freedom of speech does have a price whether you pay for it or not. There's always a price. But I've got Earl. Now, Earl's not Burnie, but until Burnie calls, I'll get Earl on here. Earl, what's going on this morning, sir?
Hey, Dan, I was listening to you in the previous call talking about the Middle East.
Yes, sir.
But I think y'all missing something.
What are we missing there, Earl?
That is the correct way to make war at this time. See, we use precision-guided munitions to take out one artillery weapon, a gun, two,
Right.
whatever you want to call it.
Right.
It's not worth it. You're dealing with people that still ride camels and horses, like you said, drive an '89 Toyota pickup. I can stop this in a week. We know the fuel dumps. We know the ammo dumps. We know the transportation corridors because you can't drive some of these mostly vehicles across the desert. You've got to use the highway.
Yes.
We have what are called MOABs, massive ordnance airbursts.
Okay.
We need 10 or 15.
Right.
Hit all these places at one time. Remove them. Remove the horse herds. Remove the camel herds. Transportation stops. Artillery piece without shells is no good. It's a hunk of metal.
Mm-hmm.
A truck without fuel is a hunk of metal. It will stop.
There's no argument. See, but the biggest thing is we don't go into wars to win wars. We go into wars to make the bankers make money. They bet on both sides. They have no intention of winning these wars. They're just a way to keep the military-industrial complex churning out more weapons to keep jobs working. That's what they say. We do this to keep the employment high in America. Well, you can't keep doing this. Eventually, the chickens are going to come home to roost.
Yes, sir, and we get enough of it.
Okay, I got Burnie Thompson on here, Earl.
Take care.
All right, talk to you later. Burnie, thanks for calling. I guess you kept calling the 233-9988 number, and we use a different phone number on our show. How you doing this morning, sir?
I'm doing great, James. Thanks for having me on.
Please,
glad to be back home.
I'm glad to have you on here. People want to know what happened, so I'm going to give you the floor. So you just, tell us what happened, and we want to know where you're going and what's happening out there, sir.
James, listen, you are a brave man. You are the only person who's allowed me to talk about this, and I sure appreciate it.
No, my problem, sir. I don't mind doing this at all. I love to stir the pot, so to speak.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. On Friday, about a week ago, I was fired by Magic Broadcasting, and I asked why, and they said, well, your ratings have plummeted 40%. Well, the ratings come out, as you know. Nielsen bought Arbitron, and they come out twice a year.
Yes.
Well, 3 days later, the ratings came out on Wednesday and Thursday, and as it happened, our show, James, did not plummet 40%. It skyrocketed about that much. As a matter of fact, we did so well that we had about twice the amount of listeners as our competition, and our competition is Rush Limbaugh. So we doubled Rush Limbaugh's listenership, and that makes an interesting situation for Magic Broadcasting. That couldn't have been the reason. I don't know of a talk show host in America who doubles the audience size of Rush Limbaugh and gets fired. So that's the first part of it.
Well, I think I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think there's somebody that might have wanted you to go away?
Yes, and I'll get to that. Here's 3 months ago, I was told by Magic Broadcasting to stop naming Republicans by name. Do not name Republicans by name if you criticize them, because it's more likely that you will get a Democrat elected. But as you know, James, my show is not about Republicans or Democrats.
Right.
We were about principle over partisanship,
Right.
and they did not want me to name Steve Sutherland, Rick Scott, or Jay Trumbull. Those were the three names I was not allowed to talk about.
The names
And-
who shall not be mentioned. Whose
for
name shall not be mentioned. All right, I got that.
Now, is anybody rappelling into the studio there? I want to make sure you're okay.
I'm fine. I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
I got a
Well,
concealed weapon on me. That's all right.
Well, 6 weeks ago, James, about 6 or 7 weeks ago, Magic Broadcasting made a new policy, and this is very, very bad for radio. The new policy was, quote, you cannot editorialize on local elections. James, if a talk show host cannot editorialize on local politics, that's like telling a mechanic you can't work on cars.
Yeah.
What else am I supposed to do?
They told me, I know what you're talking about. They told me a long time ago that I couldn't talk politics. I just said, you like my money? And they go, yeah. I said, then shut up.
Well, you just nailed it. I wasn't going to go there, but that is the exact reason that I am permitted to come on your show.
That's right.
Because you pay for your show, and that's what it comes down to. And it says, I hate it. Listen, James, I miss Magic Broadcasting.
Right.
I miss talk radio. I miss the audience. We have done so much since 2008, linking arms together. You remember Marissa Amora?
Yes.
That little black girl who was slammed against the wall, and all we did for her, we got Marco Rubio when he was Speaker of the House to pay that girl's family what she deserved. We did all we could to save Sheriff Nick Finch, who was wrongly accused and suspended by the governor.
And
we
he
got him
was
back.
acquitted, too. He was vindicated.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Alan Boyd, remember Boss Hogg? We did all we could to get him fired. Martin Lee Anderson, we told what happened, and it played out in the courtroom the same way. I miss linking arms with the massive audience that we developed who cared about the truth, James, more than politics. And I know they miss it too, but here's the good news. Listen, I understand that everything comes to an end. Every good thing has an ending.
True.
And so if they don't want me there, and if they don't want our audience that is twice the size of Rush Limbaugh's in the prime demo, according to the latest ratings by Nielsen, if they don't want us, okay, I'm going to bring them to a place they can believe in, to a place, James, where we will not be pressured, where the truth will have its day, and that is online radio that starts Monday at noon. So if anybody wants to find out more about what we're going to do, it's going to be on the website, myfreedomradio.com, myfreedomradio.com.
Good.
We kick off at noon on Monday, and we're going to tell the truth, and we're going to name names, James.
Okay, now let me get this straight. People can get this on their smartphone. People can get this on their computer. They can, if they got a smartphone or computer, they can listen to you.
Yes.
Good.
Yes,
So
absolutely
good.
right. And you know what? And I'm going to break this on your show.
Sure.
People have been asking me how this happens. You'll be the first to be able to announce.
Good.
It will be free if you listen live on myfreedomradio.com at noon on Monday. You can listen free. If you want to have the podcast, or if you want to have, other ways to listen at different times, or some of the other features that we're going to have, then it's going to be a subscription of $9 a month. And you can also get a discount if you purchase months in advance. But it will be a $9 per month subscription to have the other features. But to listen live at My Freedom Radio every weekday at noon, it will be free.
It's like 30 cents a day to be able to listen to what's happening, right? Is that what it boils down to?
Yeah,
about 30
and I'll
cents
tell you
a day.
what. Yes, James, and I'll tell you what. I am unleashed. I am unleashed. I will name names. You're going to find out. And I got to tell you, too, you're doing something that Magic Broadcasting forbid me to do.
I know.
You've got Tho Bishop coming on your show in a little bit.
I know. I got Tho coming on here because I've told people my money and my support goes to Tho Bishop. Why? Because he's a Republican. Now, as a Libertarian, I can't officially, as a Libertarian Party officer, I can't officially endorse him for the LPF, but I can endorse him personally because I've vetted him and looked at what he represents. He understands free market. He understands that using coercion and force to get things politically is wrong and is immoral. And he understands how things really work. And I think he is what we need.
I was thrilled, James, when I found out, and again, you and I have known each other a long time. We've never been
I remember
really,
when you came off the plane with Don. I was there when you came off the plane. I saw you then.
I said, "Who's this guy with the handlebar mustache?" You're right. And you know what I really appreciate about you two, James, is you are a libertarian and you're advancing, you're explaining what it is. Really, it's just limited government constitutionalism.
That's it.
And you and I are fed up with the country club Republicans.
Yes.
For you to support Bo Bishop, who is one of the 4 Republicans in this primary,
Right.
what you've done is you did vet him. To earn your support, that guy better be free market and pro-Fourth Amendment protections.
Absolutely.
And he is.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons. Because I listened to the debate the first time. I had one in there who's an authoritarian who wants to make sure more rules are placed on people, and I got another one that wants to have, we had to have affordable housing. That's a crisis. I'm going, wait a minute. Shades of John Galt, and shades of, and Rand on here on Fountainhead.
And Jay Trumbull's public-private partnership, which is really cronyism. He wants to bring back $500,000 for high-speed internet for businesses. Are you kidding me?
It is. He's going to be the water boy for the Republican GOB down here. GOB.
Well, can I say, James? Can I say this
Sure.
too? This is the biggest tragedy of all. It's not that we were so successful and that we doubled Rush Limbaugh's audience. That's beside the point. Here's the tragedy: we weren't. A talk show host can only comment on the political landscape. The leverage comes when thousands of us link arms and make the ground rumble for the truth. And the reason we were able to help Marissa Amora, the reason we were able to bounce Alan Boyd on his ear and save Sheriff Finch is because the listeners had a voice. They had a chance to call up and support or criticize their local officials.
Right.
Magic Broadcasting, Talk Radio 101, they didn't just fire me. They took away everybody's voice in Tallahassee and in Panama City. And for a reason that I didn't have enough listeners, it's demonstrably false. The ratings indicate we had twice the amount of listeners as our competition. That's the tragedy, is the listeners lost their voice.
And it will affect me if the listeners turn off the radio station, because when Clark Howard comes on, I hear the sound of radios turning off in Bay County.
Well, they'll be able, at that time, they're going to be able to go to My Freedom Radio, and they're right back at home because we're together again.
All right, and they can go to myfreedomradio.com and click on it.
And listen live for free, or if they want more of the features, it'll be a subscription of $9 a month. And if anybody wants to support what we're doing, myfreedomradio.com, they can email, and we'll tell how to do that.
Now, also, Bernie, I want to give you an open invitation. You're welcome to call anytime on this show. You're welcome to call next week if you want to, and make sure we get My Freedom Radio kicked off, because I want to let people know that they do have a voice out there. It may be a voice in the wilderness, but there is a voice out there.
James, I'm going to tell you something. You are magnificent, and I want every listener to know that you're the only one in the media, you're the only colleague of mine. And there are colleagues of mine who are very dear friends.
We got to go. We got to go.
You are the only one who stuck your neck out, and you put yourself at risk. You're a brave man.
Thank you, sir. We got to go to a break. I'll talk to you later, Bernie. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye.
James Auto Center, we fix it right, guaranteed. Beep, 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 yeah.